Hey there folks, this is Richard of DoomedMovieThon.com. I'm back with another episode of My Horror Shelfie. My Horror Shelfie is a series where I talk about every single one of my horror movies from my horror movie shelves from A to Z, and I expect you to turn this off whenever you feel like it. In case you're just tuning in, I'm sorry for the time that you've lost by clicking on this video. If you've been watching for a while, I'm also sorry, but for other reasons. I just finished my 5-part Giallo series, so if you want to check those out, I'll have the links down here where you can see them. But we are not talking about the letter G for Giallo, we're talking about the letter F for friendship. So I've grabbed the Fs. Let's see me grab videos. You ever seen that in a video? Never. First up, we have The Faculty. I did not see The Faculty when it first came out, or at all, for many, many years. And then I just randomly picked it up, the beautiful Echo Bridge Blu-ray, which is the sign of quality. And it's a fun movie. I really enjoy it, and I look forward to getting more 90s than I've ever been in my life. Fangs of the Living Dead, from my friend and yours, Amando D'Osorio. I need to rewatch this. I remember enjoying it very much. I love Spanish vampire movies. I mean, I just love Spanish horror in general, but this one I believe is a lot of fun, and I know it's got that lovely gothic goodness that I crave. It's been way too long since I've seen it. Soon, I'll watch this again, and I'll tell you. Rollin' with the homies. That's right, it's your old friend and mine, Jean Roland. Or Gene Roland. And he is great. Fascination is one of his, I wouldn't say favorites of mine. I definitely am a big fan of this one. I'm more of a, Living Dead Girl, Grapes of Death kind of guy. But I look forward to rewatching Fascination because it's been many years. I just know I enjoy it. Slasher goodness, slasher, Final Exam. I frickin' love Final Exam. It's so great. Radish is the greatest character ever. The final girl is amazing. And Final Exam is there's just something special about it. It has a prank at the beginning of the movie that would get literally everyone arrested and expelled and in jail. It's the craziest prank I've ever seen in one of these college hijink movies that also happens to be a slasher. Highly recommended. The Final Terror is a very recent watch by yours truly. I had kind of been mixing it up with The Forest for a long time, and I am sad that I did that because I really enjoy The Final Terror. It's something special. Good old Daryl Hannah, like her first movie or one of her very first movies, but it's got the quiet forest at night and like great killer and great kills if I recall correctly. But yeah, Final Terror. Okay. A recent favorite episode of Hello, This is the Doom Show is Jeffrey and I talked about Flesh Eater for a Halloween episode. This is a very Halloween-y frickin' zombie movie. Good old Bill Hinsman, the OG zombie from the original Night of the Living Dead. He stars and directs in this crap, and it's really fun. Somehow, people just know what to do with zombies. They know to board up a house. Like, the minute they see a zombie, they're, like, ready. They're gathering weapons. They sort of know to shoot them in the head and then forget later. But it's just really trashy movie that he made. And I think he's just trying to make the connections between his work and Night of the Living Dead, even though George Romero's like, I don't want to be a part of this. If you can find this one, it's really fun. Scream Queen double feature? What is that doing in the Fs? Oh, it's got The Howling, or The Fouling, but more importantly, it's got The Fog. Wait, do I love The Fog, or do I love The Howling more? Ooh, I'm not going to answer that. Of course I love The Fog, John Carpenter's classic. I don't know what else to say about it. I did watch the remake recently. It wasn't that bad. It was something. And yeah, The Howling, my favorite werewolf movie of all time, followed by the magical Howling 2. Your Sister is a Werewolf. Also highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. It's real great. Forever Evil. This is a movie I saw as a kid, and it was really amazing. My parents and some family friends, we rented a house on the lake, and it had a dock and everything, and it was really kind of creepy and weird staying in this old, unfamiliar house. And my parents rented Forever Evil to keep me occupied in the evening. And I really enjoyed this movie as a kid. I thought it was so scary and action-packed and weird, and it just, it just keeps you guessing. Like, it's really, you don't know where it's going to go next. It's really slow now that I've revisited it as an adult. It does not have great pacing, but it's just a fun time. And if you haven't seen Forever Evil, give it a look. It's very, very much a Evil Dead ripoff, but who doesn't like those? Speaking of movies that I have seen once and have almost no memory of, beyond I kinda liked it, so Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, good old Hammer, Peter Cushing is rocking this thing. Barely remember it. I do know that Horror of Frankenstein is in here for some reason. So in case it doesn't come with that, that's my custom DVD-R. Why do I have that? I have no idea why I have that. But yeah, movies. I would be crazy if I couldn't remember this movie. This is Frankenstein Conquers the World, a special horror kaiju with some really bizarre setup. Like, the plot is really crazy. The monster is totally baffling and insane. And it's just like a really, really cool Toho movie. I kind of wish they'd dipped their toes into more horror-themed kaiju stuff. This is too strange. If you thought a giant Frankenstein fighting a giant Godzilla-like monster would be weird, you weren't wrong. This is weird shit. See also War of the Gargantuans. Okay, last but not least on this F episode, for real, frickin' Freaky Farley. If you have not seen Freaky Farley, let me tell you a little bit about it. I used to get sent movies to review for DoomMovieThon.com a long time ago, and all kinds of independent people, independent filmmakers, they're also independent people. They would send me their movies, and some of them were good, and some of them were not so good, and some of them were, good for them for making a movie. But the one that struck me as the most heartfelt and important for my tastes, at least, was Freaky Farley. And I've reached out to the filmmakers and had them on the podcast before. They're really cool guys. And Freaky Farley is wonderful. It's my favorite film that anyone just randomly sent me out of the blue to review. So, rent it, whatever, buy it. It's so good. It's got my quote on the front here. Freaky Farley is a sincere masterpiece of low-budget eclecticism. Eclecticism, that may or may not be a real word. Don't look it up, but just call me instead. Folks, thanks for watching this F episode. I don't have a lot of the movies of F, so I'm just going to split it up, and I'll talk about 11 movies next time, or 12, to round up the old Fs. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. If you're a fan of the Hello, This is the Doomed Show podcast, we're taking a break for 2023. I needed a break from podcasting for a little while, but we will be back in 2024. We're going to come back strong and talking like podcasts sometimes do. Yeah, I'm going to go grab a cat.